And what is step 5? 鸡蛋糕 step 5。Please，your pattern 不是 step 5的哈，你的 standard 是university 的哈。Yeah, step 5. Hey, show me your result 啊，中文。
Okay.
Anyway, I told you right, the year-end party will be end of this year, 30th. Hello, 秦Han，对吗？Okay, how do I pronounce your name? So sorry, sir. Can you pronounce your name to Uncle Raymond?
启航。
启航啊，航啊。
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, sir. Which school are you from, Chihan? Hey, sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly. I apologize. Chihan. Which school are you from?
Catholic.
公教，哈哈哈！我差一点去过你学校教书啊，我最后选回我自己学校。公教，OK。Thank you. Antenna. How was your English? 启恒对吗？对。How was your English?
Okay.
Express sorry, 启恒。Are you Express or IP? Are you Express or IP student?
Express.
Okay. Because 公教有 IP 对吗？
Yeah.
Okay. So how was your English? You just got a report book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how was it?
B3 overall.
B3 overall. Okay, what?
Yeah.
Anything wrong? No, right? Which one do you think is not so good? Not so sorry, not so strong. Paper 1, 2, 3, 4?
Paper 2.
Paper 2, comprehensions, visual graphic text. Okay. Brittany, thank you so much for your sharing. 启恒 right? 启恒对吗？
启航。
启恒。哦，对啊，Hen。You take away the G is my last name. My name is Raymond Ralph Shong Chong Han. 启恒. Okay, 启恒. Okay, 恒哥, welcome to our F class here. This is a F class. 中文 tell him what is the F class. 都你要 say 中文. What is the F word? 不要害我啊，他是新学生啊，你不要害我啊，中文。What is the F word?
Free.
Free. We are think like a freak. Okay, you see all the people here, all freak ones, crazy people. So I hope you're in the right way, right class. Okay. Yeah, let me try this word freak. Think like a freak. We must be crazy, right? And then for the past 2 months, you think like a freak. Think like a freak. Must be freak. Okay, now joke aside. I just recently checked the PSLE as changed in next year 2025. So CN and Zhonghen is like, what the hell? You tell me for what? Next year at Set 4, you can't tell me PSLE 你神经病啊，各位们，牛头不对马嘴啊。No. I'm so proud that they changed the marks into allocations that there are more marks, Zhonghen, to transfer 10 marks. Last time the oral was 30 marks. Now they transferred to the oral 40 marks. I am so glad that MOE is moving to oral. I told you, right? Sorry, Jihan, you maybe a news hold on. I told all of you who have been with me for 3 years or so. Right, Hazel? I tell you, if you go back to PSLE, I think Hazel, you will score, man, bro. I think it's about time the MOE is to involve more of the oral talking. As I told you, in MOE, 90% is all about writing, and 10% is talking. But the time has changed, and nowadays, let's talk about all my good friends. And then you know who is Mr. Beast, right? Jihan, you know who is Mr. Beast, right? Jihan, you know who is Mr. Beast? Hello? Are you?
No, I don't.
You don't watch YouTube,
No.
Hello, brother, get a live, watch YouTube. And then you know who is Mr. Beast, right? Yeah, my cousin. Okay, yeah. You don't be racist. What's wrong with Mr. Beast, my cousin? You realize all the stop it, sing and don't give me. I know tomorrow is Halloween, bloody hell. So, you realize a lot of people now in the YouTube, the TikTok, everyone's a lot of talking, is a lot of presentation skill. True enough, it's a real world that we are in. So I hope maybe next time, Republic Poly, if you are going for Republic Poly, good luck to you. Every day is presentation. Do you know that, Antenna? You know that? You know? 你有朋友在那边他觉得好玩吗？ 其实他出来的时候啊 he will thanks the school. Trust me. I got a few students in Republic, and one of them is really from China. He came to Singapore and studied in my ex-school, Kuochuan. 说啦，老师，哇，真是辛苦啊，进去，然后说活该啦。我平时这样你讲话，你不要讲。But you know, after that, I just have breakfast with him and then last week he's already 26 years old 他大人家2岁他在学校大我的 class 2岁，到现在出来讲话不一样。他回去莆田讲话不一样。I tell you, talking is very important. So trust me, like look at people who like sing and don't like to talk last time. Now it's so talkative, but still have to improve. 中文 no need to say Zhonghen. You're always so bloody talkative, which I like it. Okay, Hazel, I still like your octopus with legs, not tentacles. Okay, now let's go back to
It's not legs.
It's tentacles, right?
No, it's arms.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. Yeah, I'm testing you. My bad. Now everyone was saying this song 你懂this song 你懂爸爸生气的时候是什么颜色吗 ？Andy 呢？你懂爸爸生气是紫色八字哥哥是蓝色，姐姐是红色，妈妈是黄色，爸爸什么色？爸爸是紫色，为什么呢？因为爸爸是八字。So lame, right? Yeah, thanks, man. Sorry, Chihan. This is how Uncle Raymond going to teach every day. Like say, be crazy because this is not tuition. This is a free class. So now go back to this one. Seriously, I would like to talk more about this. Is the last month, last lesson of this month for police and soldier. Next month, I'm preparing for air, land, sea, and transport. Surprisingly, when I was preparing this lesson for next month, it was kind of resonate to your Sec4 globalizations, air, land, and sea transport, which is what in Chinese is called 海陆空, right? And surprisingly, when I do that, I was like, it really resonates to the real world that we are doing. Okay, next week, then we talk about it. Okay, let's talk about this presentation skill. We have done it before, well done. So please use this one. We talked about police before. Now I want to go to this. Hazel, let's talk about this. The army is more important than you read and then explain why you choose that. Okay, go. Okay, Hazel, why not I start first? See whether you as a teacher now, I'm a student, okay? Okay? So you analyze what I want to say. See whether I resonate what you say and advocate the things that you say. The army is more important for the country because with the additions of the army, the soldiers will prevent external threat from entering Singapore at the extent of their own safety. They are unsung hero. Who is the they? The soldiers, of course. Police, while important, care more about the individual well-being of the common folks and protect them instead of the country as a whole. I will say I have both. I served in the army before for 2.5 years. I served in the Ministry of Education for 7 years, and now I'm serving in the police force for coming 4 years. To say that, true enough, the army is very important, as what you mentioned, that you not only protect the countries, the soldiers, making sure that there's not external threat to come in, to invade, to intrude, to intervene Singapore's territory. But at the same time, with the external threat that you have mentioned is well protected, they are unsung hero. Sounds like Yue Fei Hazel. Sounds like Guan Yu, my 崇拜的偶像. But the police itself is also very important. And know recently, there's a lot of few cases in Singapore, the Clementi murder case, and then some children on the 3rd floor nearly fell down. I don't know what the hell their parents are doing. And all these call for the police to make sure to protect, prevent, and preserve. Okay, or do I say to protect, prevent, and to preserve, maybe to perform the duties as a police officer. Am I right to say what you have written here, Hazel? Or do you want to add something on? No? Okay. So why not we play this game? Rolly is not here. She'll be coming in later. And then can you read? Then I will translate what you say. Okay. Okay, come. You're done to read, Adana.
Army is more important for a country as it increases the safety of the people in the country and decreases the possibility of threats brought upon the people. The responsibility of the country is divided upon the number of soldiers and the probability of people will be multiplied.
Okay, so this one I would not want to mention about Singapore, okay, Antenna? I would like to mention one of my favorite country, China. All right, seriously, not because you're China, because I also, my ancestor come from China. And I feel that recently with the increase of the 2 aircraft carrier, I'm going to mention this in the next month lesson, which was during my lesson plan. The 2 beautiful aircraft carrier from China. It's, by the way, Antenna, do you know what is aircraft carrier? Ah, Han, do you know what is aircraft carrier? Hello, sir. Han.
I don't know.
Do you take history?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
Bro, don't scare me.
Yeah.
你真的不懂啊？
I don't know, like
不要紧，懂还是不懂？不要 Google 啊，不要玩错啊，
不懂。
不懂没事不懂，等一下你去外面占课室就好了。中恒 ，OK， do you know what is aircraft carrier?
Yeah,
What is that?
like a ship that carries planes.
Well, thank God you say ship carrying planes. I got one student says ship carrying cargoes. What the F? Carrying cargoes. 你听过航空母舰吗？你听过航空母舰吗 ？Antenna 听过航空母舰吗？你 take history 吗？你没有 take history 哦。你 take history。你老师没有讲 World War II 的 Japanese 的故事给你听啊
Halfway going through.
？Did they talk about Midway or not?
No.
Did they talk about Pearl Harbor or not?
Yeah.
Then you know how the Pearl Harbor Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor or not?
Bomb.
没有啦，他们 deliver pizza and sushi. Oh my god, joke 啊！ They bring the aircraft carrier where the planes called Akagi Akano. Akagi Akano and Shima. Shit, I forgot already of this. There are the 11 aircraft carrier. One of the biggest aircraft carrier was called Akagi. We can carry about a few hundred Zero fighters, Japanese planes. The biggest threat is that they bring the aircraft carrier, the plane flew through the Pearl Harbor to attack and destroy all the ship. One of the main purpose is to destroy Enterprise, the biggest aircraft carrier in US. But thank God the aircraft carriers at that time was out doing exercise. Exercise means 演习. But they thought Japanese, they thought the Americans are so lazy. Sunday they will take it off, they'll go to church, relax, but never expect that 真的是老天有眼. So it was out. So after the attack of Pearl Harbor, please look through your Midway story. It's where that they decided, if you watch the movie called Netflix Midway, you will understand. There will be about 5 aircraft carriers, including Hornets, Enterprise, Yorktown versus Akagi, Akano, and Shimano, I think. And then there are a few biggest aircraft carriers. What happens is this aircraft carrier was being converted from an oil tanker with a platform so that the aircraft, the 飞机可以起飞在船那个 ship 那边，然后直接攻打敌人。So China built 2 coming the 3rd aircraft carriers. Once a country built aircraft carrier means you are going for war. Okay, my dream, Rolling, is to become a soldier, a Navy officer in the aircraft carrier. But sorry, Singapore don't have aircraft carrier. Okay, when I was young, I like to do models about aircraft carrier. So, Han and Antenna, now you know 什么是航空母舰呢? It's a ship that carry aeroplanes to go to the enemy territory to bombard their countries. Okay, that is called aircraft carrier. Not carrying cargo. I got one student. Oh, they carry cargo, is it to bring food and supply? Oh my God. Seriously, that is not. 若琳，你听过 aircraft carrier 吗？没有，你没有 take history 哦。黑色，你听过 aircraft carrier 吗？没有。你有听过吗？黑色
Say.
aircraft carrier. Have you heard of this?
有。
有哦，请
对。
思远，你有听过我讲过很多次哦，你应该懂哦。
Yes.
Yes, okay. So based on what you have written here is that The army is more important in a country in terms of safety, security, and of course the smooth relationship with other countries. So it's not just to decrease the possibility of threat, but in a better negotiation, better communication, and better what you call two ways bilateral relationship. And what Antenna, you're going to do that. Look at the social study textbook. I think it's on the chapter 8 and 9. Oh, sorry, no, 9 and 10, where you talk about relationship. That's called, we got this United Nations, which is you study League of Nations that bring up the United Nations. And of course, we talk about ASEAN, which is the 10th country in Southeast Asia. And we talk about the BRICS, okay, the unions in Europe. And then now we talk about China and Russia and the Indians, they form out an economic zone. So with that, everyone 就是唇亡齿寒啊. Everyone's are linked together to protect the people of the country, to prevent a war, and to preserve their freedoms. So in that sense, the soldiers is important because they are the forefronts, according to what you written, the forefront of their people to ensure there is peace and prosperity between both countries. All right, and very sad to say, you saw Israel flying missile to Iran. I was looking at the map. Today is Wednesday. 2 days ago, I was teaching an IB student in China, Shanghai. He's a Singaporean. I say, hey, bro, I can't imagine how the Iran and flying drones to Israel and Israel flying missile to Iran. And in between, they got Iran and other countries. So I think it's fascinating. So this is all about math, really. The calculations and everything. And if you watch in Iraq War, which I was at that time in my army, you know, there's this Tomahawk. Tomahawk is a missile flying through Iraq's Baghdad and where Saddam Hussein is. And then if you look at the Apache, the air attack helicopter by the US, the missile they fire is really blocking from the graph. So why am I telling all these things? Is because the whole damn thing is all about technology. The whole damn thing today we change is all about technology. So we have to embrace and advocate technology. Today, as a police officer myself, sometimes we also use technology to track, for example, very good example, Scam Shield, right? It's one way to track scammers coming to disturb your peace, to take away your money and things like that. And sorry to say, you did not mention much about the police, but okay, because you're supporting the army. Thank you very much. Am I right to say that, Antenna? Is that what you want to say? Thank you. Okay, Rolly, can you read yours? And I will explain.
I feel that army is more important because a police is normally a singular word, and an army has more people and more capacity to protect the country and nation.
Let me clear your doubts, my dear. A police officer is not like 成龙哦，警察故事一个人哇可以打10个，以为叶问啊？No, okay, sorry, yeah, in the US is even at least 3-4 police officers, even they carry shotgun or anything. But of course, in Singapore police here, we are really touched with a lot safer. And sometimes when I do duty, I don't carry weapons. Okay, sometimes I do carry weapons, but when I carry weapons, to be honest, I feel a bit not very uneasy. Okay, because when you carry weapons means you are prepared to say something. But when I don't carry weapons, that means I'm interacting with the committees. I wish I'm doing my duty next Saturday. I have a big event in Khatib. So when you say this is, please, police is not a singular thing as well. I don't know what you mean by singular, but what I feel that police is just not away from the army. We do have like big events when in the Little India, Antenna and Qihan, you know there's a Little Indian riots in 2013 December when 很多印度人在那个 Little Indian 喝酒闹事，然后有一个死掉，然后 all the ambulance was kind of what I call burn out, all these things, right? So the police came in. Surprisingly, those young officers, maybe around my age and younger, we never seen the riots in my life. The only riots that the senior told us is that during the racial riots in 1963, 64, the Maria Hartot and the Hotley bars, that was donkey years where all the police officers 已经退休了. So suddenly with this Little Indian riots, we came in the SWAT team, all the police. But you see, we handled the case in a very, very humane and very nice manner, not like in the US where they start throwing and beating out all the the suspect and all the innocent people. Okay, we handle things very sweet, very nice and good, very professional. So my take is that I feel that what you have written, Rolling, is not wrong. The capacity to protect country and nations. More than that, Rolling. The army in Singapore, we also do on the peace mission. Like those countries where tsunami, flood, earthquake, hurricane, we go all the way. Can I use the word? We extend the help to others. Okay, to show that even our little red dog in Singapore, has some countries say we are a little red dog, but this dog is so shining and bright that will really brighten out your life. When they see Singapore flag flying with the helicopter Chinook, the Chinook is the two propeller coming down, deliver food, deliver clothes, deliver blankets. Hey, hello, excuse me, where's my government? How come my government never give me? And now it's a Singapore flag, come and give me. What is this? Sorry, I might be a bit sarcastic here, but I'm very proud to be a Singaporean. So this is it what you want to say, Roland? No, so sorry. I'm not saying other countries are no good. I'm just saying I'm proud of my countries with this small effort. And I thank God I played a contributing small part to make my countrymen, my country proud. So recently, a lot of my friends say, hey, quick lah, all the effort comes out lah, finish liao, fail liao. The standard of living is so high in Singapore. You study social study, you know, right? As I go other country lah, like my friend want to go Vietnam, want to go Malaysia, want to go Hong Kong, want to go Australia, go New Zealand. My uncle is in New Zealand. But one thing I tell you, 每次那边的草是很青很好吃的，可是我自己这边的草，我还是喜欢吃新加坡的草。Okay, but you ask me, I only migrate out of Singapore if this country government is sucks. And when this country government is no equality and no diversity and no racial harmony, and there is racism or anti-religions, I will not want to stay in this country. As far as concerned, I think this country will have a very beautiful diversity, where we know tomorrow we celebrate 2 occasions. Do you know what is the 2 occasion now? Tomorrow? Can anyone tell me? Yes.
Hello, Deepavali.
Sorry?
Halloween and Deepavali.
Sorry, to me, I only celebrate Deepavali. Because I got a lot of Indian friends. I would like to wish them a happy Deepavali. It's very beautiful because we come together, we celebrate together. But I don't like Halloween. What's your problem? Why you laugh at me? Happy Deepavali, that's how the Indian talk, right? Correct 吗？齐汉。演的不是翻的，翻的不是演的。Yeah, don't mind, sorry. Catholic people are very fun guys, okay? Please. Okay, he's a very fun guy. And one of my 2 good friends, they always go to your school and play ping pong. They are really 60 plus, by the way. And recently, one of my police officers, he's actually from Catholic. He's from IP, but he graduated from Unora JC and now he's serving his national service in police force. So that day we have duty together. Say, hey, you from Cat High? Yeah, hey, how Cat High boy good? No lah. We are very fun one. We are easygoing. We just so you play table tennis. Not all Cat High people play table tennis lah. I play other games. Correct now.
Yeah.
Don't be shy, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, what I want to say, I'm sorry, as a Catholic, and I don't celebrate Halloween. I told you before, right, last week. Did I tell you? Did I share with this? We only celebrate on the 1st of November. You know what's the 节日吗？你去type 1st of November is the All Saints Day. 圣人啊。The day before is the All Devil, the evil day. That is called the Halloween. So only the non-Catholic will celebrate Halloween. The Catholic will celebrate the 1st of November, the All Saints Days. Okay, thank you. And Rolling, did I explain clearly of your part? Okay, thank you. See you and your turn. My turn to read, huh? No, your turn to read. Then I explain. Go. Hello, Mr. Liu.
I think army is more important as it is more important for a country. A country could survive a day without police, but definitely won't survive without an army.
I like your last part. A country could survive a day without police, but definitely wouldn't survive without an army. I really like this, not sarcastic. But I don't like your first sentence. I think army is important here. It's more important for the country. You like very stereotyping. 你对警察有偏见啊？你不喜欢我们警察先生是吗？鸡蛋糕，
No.
鸡蛋糕，你 banana 香蕉、黄梨、西瓜。I just want to share that I like the last one is that a country could survive a day without a police because the soldier can act like a police, right? As what you meant. And also the soldier also can protect the country. True enough, in World War II, I don't think there is any police in the Nazis camp. Only the SS and the company, right? Antenna? Hey, 中文 you take history also? No, right? You take history, You know what is company, right? I like the way I like your eyes. 鸡蛋，什么是 company？可以吃的吗？すみません。この木 company ですね、police です。military police。わかりました。我们这不能是这个警察，不过是军人警察。鸡蛋，我好像讲日本话，sorry. Okay, company is a group of soldiers that in Singapore was horrible. If you watch 叶问第一集吗？你看中文，你看叶问第一集吗？你没有看叶问第一集？我的 cousin 那个杨子丹做叶问，他不是有一个翻译人对吗？那个翻译人，那旁边不是有几个小那个警察那些？Some of these soldiers they are wearing army uniform, but when they put the word competent, it's actually very horrible. These are the people terrorized. I'm not sure your teacher will share with you during the history lesson in Sec 1 and Sec 2. They will terrorize the whole bloody Singapore during the 3 years and 8 months. They'll just go to your house. They can just shit and pee and do anything. If they don't like you, they can just bring you. You know who is Elizabeth Choi? Okay, I was teaching, I was learning, and no, so I was training in NIE. So my lecture was one of the lecture. Elizabeth Choi is actually his auntie. He was being tortured by the Japanese, and very sad because of his torture. 他不可以生孩子 and her husband was doctor to save all the guerrilla fighters and 等一下洛林 and then the husband died, and then because of that, then the Elizabeth Choi, the sister, give my teacher the sister to become the goddaughter. Wow, really respect. Yes, Lolly, you want to say something?
OBS group name was called Elizabeth Choi.
It's a heroine. Now you understand now. That's why every name site, like Mr. Major General Ling Mo Seng. I told you every time when we bring my students during my 7 years to the Clarke Quay Boat Quay there, 那不是有一个坟墓咯，你冇信I would just go there and pay my respect. When I was in the army, they got this big portrait in the military. I will just go there and bow to him and salute him every time I go back for my reservice. These are the men who not only sacrifice. I think I damn bloody agree with you, Xingyuan. So this is something that is true. What you say is true. We don't have the police, but we cannot have the soldiers. The soldiers can act on the police because during the curfew, you're right. During the curfew, the police can't do much. The soldier will come in already. You see, any countries are 很乱的时候 just like Bangladesh, like Bangladesh recently, all the soldiers come in and take over. You tell the police officer, excuse me, 靠边站, will take over the whole situations. Why? Because they have the authority. In Thailand, they also the same thing. Because of that, the Thai become the military's governments back 10 years ago. And Myanmar is also the same. So you are right, Xingyan, well done. Zhonghen, sorry, Xingyan, did I explain what you have said?
I explain.
No, did I explain well enough what you have written? Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Ganyo. 感謝，多謝晒，唔該晒。Let's go, 中恒。
The army plays an important role in keeping a country safe by defending it from external threats, like invasion or attacks.
Let's talk about Singapore during the World War II. Okay. When general perseveres are supposed to have 30 over 1,000, it's like 10 soldier is to 1 Japanese soldier, and yet they surrender. 鸡蛋糕. Then after the war, the British came back and asked we all to become a volunteer soldier to fight against the Chinese communists. 鸡蛋糕. So it's a soldier supposed to defend the country and to kill another fellow person in another country where maybe that person is your childhood friend, your neighbors, but because they migrate to Malaysia, to Indonesia, just like the North and South Korea, just like in India and China and Taiwan. Oh, or South Vietnam and North Vietnam, war is ugly. That's why I say WAR stands for wasting all resources. That is war. So in order to bring war to the end, we have to RAW. We have to read and write and declare that the country surrender or declare the war in peace. Hopefully the war between Israel and Hamas and Lebanon will turn into raw, read and write, and then make agreements. So my IB student is actually dealing with this topic about this social stuff happening in Israel, and he brought about Somalia and Lebanon. So I did not know, wow, my goodness, the way they talk about social study is so much complicated than your, once he has done his essay, I will show you what it means, okay? Thank you very much, Zhonghan. The attacks and invasions is inevitable when people write down, when people are lack of food, lack of jobs, lack of securities, lack of the corrupted governments, lack of peace, lack of racial crippling the racial harmony, crippling 就是断节. Once you have all these, just bring out your 10 finger. Okay, any finger will be broken is really very bad. So 10 finger 讲不完就是 education, job. Sorry, students still ask me, what about LGBT? Qinghan, you know what is LGBT, right? Yes? Yeah. So is it part of the social issue, the norms? And then we are talking about certain minority of race, religions, and also talking about aging. All these 10 fingers are all inside there. If any of these finger was broken, that is where chaos, casualty, calamity, confusion, conflict, and crisis will come in. So these invasion attacks is definitely can be avoided, Zhonghen, provided we can sit at the round table to talk about it. Why round table? Why not square table? Why not rectangle table? Because round tables, you know why it's round table? It's equality. Okay, we come in with infinity. I know there are people who are in China and US when they thought they have a rectangle table, because they got a lot of peoples, right? But they so face to face. You don't see the two leaders sitting at the both end. They were sitting in this way and talk. They won't sit in this way. Only things that you will see is the 38 parallel in North and South Korea. The two soldiers is like Bei Song like that, face to face, like 要打架对吗中文? Okay, you watch TikTok, very funny. The head flew away to North Korea, then the North Korean soldier passed the head to the tourists. Right? So am I right to say this, Zhonghen? Did I clearly explain your paragraph? So ladies and gentlemen, whenever you write, please put in your passions. Recently, I was doing a PSLE bootcamp. It's a PSLE stand for what? Sunday, you know where I think of this one? Anyone can share? Luo Ling, Xing Yuan, Zhonghen, you know where I think of PSLE? P stand for passion to study. S stand for the strategies to learn. L stand for learn, relearn, and unlearn. And E, excellent result to move ahead to secondary. You must have the passions with the strategy to learn and relearn and unlearn so that you get excellent result and you pass your PSLE to secondary school. I was in the toilet thinking of this. Yeah. And then 我每次在 toilet 就是想这些，不要那个 WAR 啦，还是什么字，我每次在厕所想这些东西的。那个灵感是在厕所。So my student will say, Uncle Raymond, do you think this? You thought of this when you were in the toilet? Yeah. When I was poo that time, I think of this. Yeah, I hope your idea is not smelly enough. Oh yeah, do you think it's smelly? No, not literally. Okay, Isa. All right, let's talk about this one. Now your turn to explain why police often allow, okay, which one is your correct. That one I cannot talk about you right, correct? I cannot explain on your behalf. So Zhonghen, can you read and then explain? Police work
often allows for more regular hours and staying close to home. It is less dangerous than army, and it also allow me to protect the nation.
Okay, can you explain to me? Let's say now is the interview with the police commander. Why do you think you want to take this police? After you explain this, further explain, please. Further elaborate, further analyze, please. So, Qing'an, so sometimes my classes is like that. It's not about teaching grammars, all these things. It's about how you articulate your speech, how you present yourself for your oral presentation skill, and also understand and comprehend the passage well in a different way. Back to you, Zhonghen.
In military, we need to go through every daily military trainings. But in police, we can get to have a better working environment as compared to a military, and the pays are about the same. In army, we have to stay in camp for weeks, or even not getting to be at home to enjoy our lives outside. But for police, we can work as a regular hour job and get to choose like the neighborhood police stations. So like we can still protect our country by safeguarding our nation and law enforcement.
Wow, sweet. I like this word, law enforcement. 很久没有听了，很好。
But in Singapore, I trust that is much safer. So normal guard duties or normal patrolling will be not as dangerous as others.
But Singapore Army never go to war.
Yeah, but sometimes army need to go like other country to like
Police also go other country. Do you know that?
yeah. But like normal police is not like the SWAT or something. They are just like neighborhood police. So it's like not the front line, I think.
Okay. I just want to correct you. Police also got 24 hours duty. There's no such thing 9 to 5 one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
lucky for me because I choose not to work in the midnight shift. Okay, I got some of my officer from what time? From 7 p.m. to work until 7 a.m. By the time they want to go back, sometimes halfway, they got case. Like someone died in the house, fighting, robbery. Okay, they cannot say, 哎，我7点半工了那个匪徒你不要走等我的同事来才抓你你不要走，你在那边我要放工了，拜拜。And then if one day of this police officer like that 完蛋了。So I know the 2 blocks away got people robbing and 2 blocks away 有一个老公打老婆我放工了嘞我回去警察局等那同事来才解决，把了才解决那个老婆给老公打死了，那个土匪已经抢走那个钱了。So it's not about 7 to 7 now. Sometimes I saw my colleague they extend one of the very sad case is when my 3 officer was about to come back to the camp HQ in Lima Division Woodlands 有一个老太太死在家里。哇 that one I will not forget. He come back and said 哇已经要换工了，收到这种 news 不是那个是 it's very sad 死在家里已经几天了，没有人去看他。So very sad, seriously. Okay, so I make correction中文 it's not about office hour. We work 24 around the clock, and also police in the sea the navy one not navy the what do you call that the water what the coast guard police at night is the best time where all the illegal immigrants from Malaysia and Indonesia will slowly creep into Singapore's water, and then my colleagues will go there. Hello, excuse me, illegal trespassers. Of course, they'll go to jail. There are also possibility who are people who swim from other countries to come to the shore of Singapore, where St. John Island, Pulau, Pulau Ubin or all those islands nearby and get caught. So it's also a very dangerous job because 反正我都是个烂命一条了，我就是来新加坡找生活，死也是这样，我就搏我的命。Very sad, huh? So both police and soldiers are equally very tough. It needs a lot of courage and bravery. It needs of determination. You must have passions. Knowing that, I think last week we read a poem, knowing, or not you, knowing that when the police officer, the moment you get out of the house, the chances is you might get something happen to you. You never know, even though Singapore is a very safe place. But it's all up to the situation on that day. All right, thank you very much, Zhong Han. Xin, your turn, please. Xian.
I would choose police as it is much more easier. If I join the military, I must do training every day, whereas as a police officer, and I'm living in a safe country like Singapore, the job is much more easier. So, you know.
Yeah, explain.
So like if I join the military, my life will be like very hard and it will be tiring. But if I join the police, right, the most I do each day is just like solving like neighbors' problems, you know. So yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, 新远你不要生气哦，不要生气。And then 你三位小姐跟两位大哥，你们不要笑啊 ，because 我要讲 answer 出来，你们不要笑，不要笑。新远 I pray that you will not be in the army. If not, I cannot sleep well. I pray that you don't become a police officer. I also cannot sleep well. I pray that you go to Singapore Civil Defense. 你去灭人家的家里的火，人家 stuck 在电梯，还是做那种 ambulance 哦，不要，你不要做 police。你看你那张脸啊，那个匪都看到你啊，都会笑。这个做 policeman， you know why I'm laughing at you, no? You're such a nice boy, a decent boy, okay? And you go to army, 我看你笑不了手。Enemy in front, charge. Enemy charge, enemy front charge. 你的声音不够响亮了，你不会喊 enemy in front charge. Enemy 同志们、同胞们，我们 charge. Excuse me, sir. Are you giving command? Yes, let's go. 我鸡蛋糕，金远不可以耶，可能你会变啊。Maybe when you go to A level JC or after your university, 你会变。After you go to NS, they transform you to a very six pack 嘞。Wow, like Korean six pack. Girls don't laugh, You never know our dear friend can become six pack, even now you look very short, 中文你不要故意把你的头低下来呀，我知道你在笑他 ，OK I think 中文also agree, Uncle, I agree with you. I think Xing Yan go to SCDF better, not police and army. He's such a nice guy. Sometimes I look at the police officer, the NS boy, I say, he can be police officer, man. Oh, by the way, Xing Yan, Zhonghan, you think police got no training? We also got training. We got go shooting. We got to do combat tactics. We got to do a lot of things. We have to go for first aid, all trainings. It's not just like that. Okay, we have to keep ourselves physical fit to able to catch the culprits and criminals. Okay, so Xing Yuan, 不要生气 You are a very nice boy. Who knows? Maybe you're going for army. They really can transform you. Well, as far as concerned, you are still a very innocent and not like 中恒 中恒 a bit naughty and more 比较叛逆, but I like it. Right, 中恒 You are supposed to be like that. 这样人家不会 bully 你嘛，对不对？ Sorry, 秦汉 if I do not know how well you are, I'm not sure how well you are. This is your first lesson, but these two car is with me for a while already. Two clown, okay, two leaders. Okay, back to you, Antenna.
I would choose being a police officer than compared to being a army soldier. Because I feel like being like
Wait, you must read this one, dear. I would choose. You must read this one first.
I would choose being a police officer.
A police has a career.
I would choose being police as a career because I feel like
Oh, you have to read this one first.
I would choose being a police as a career as it wouldn't require me to put my life as much of a danger than compared to an army soldier. It will also allow me to protect the country from within the country.
Okay, why?
why I feel this way is because like police, I can stay like between the country with like my family members and stuff. While army, maybe they will have like training inside like some facility where I cannot like meet my family members physically. Then like sometimes it's like I will be like isolated from maybe like my friends and my family also. But being a police officer, like maybe I got like shifts or like training, at least I would have like some free time to myself lah. Then I would be able to like spend quality time with my peers, my family. Yeah. Then it will also allow me to like protect my country from within the country, because I wouldn't need to like leave the country for some like international training, maybe to like see other countries doing their army, so I could like learn from them. But I can like just stay inside my country. I can be in a place where I feel the most safest, and I can also like contribute to the country in some way.
你不要骗啊，所以 spend time with your family, spend time with your peers. You want to spend time with your boyfriend, 讲一声啦 spend time 又找借口。They say I would like to spend time more with my boyfriend. I worry if I in the camp too long, my boyfriend look with other girls. How I must be protective and make sure my boyfriend only like me and myself only, no other girls. Quite true in the sense that in the army you need to stand by camp, because it's really the duty that anytime you can deploy out of the country for whatever reason. Yes, but 女儿当自强 a lot of some of my student females my ex-students who are already in the army, I don't really contact them, but when I saw them on their Instagram, their Facebook, their TikTok, they did very well. Did in the past, but now I don't know how is it. I lost contact with the things, but I seen that they have change transformed. Not easy, you're right. They have to really work-life balance, because army trainings are definitely much tougher. Coming from an army for 2.5 years myself, I know. Even though I've seen the trainings, my training at that time was damn bloody horrible. Definitely very horrible. But now it's much, much better 10 times. And especially the girls who go to armies are well treated, are well taken care of, and the career prospect is so solid, because I ever met my ex-ma'am, a captain, and was later promoted to lieutenant colonel, and she was retired, and she was still fit and strong, and not easy at that time in the 80s when females are in the army. Not many, but now there seems like more ladies are joining the police and the army. With due respect to all the females, I salute to all of you, because it's not an easy job, seriously. Especially what, Antenna, I'm not kidding, especially girls, you guys every month got that problem. You know what I mean, right? The problem of menses, and then you have to go for training. And imagine your instructor. So what? Imagine your trainer is also a lady. You got menses, I also got menses. What's wrong? You cannot train. Don't give the excuse. Go and run. That kind of things. Unless you run until you fainted. But usually now they are more humane, in my opinions. They are able to take care of the welfare of the soldiers, not just the female, but the male. Well-being of the soldiers is important, because it's a battle to fight against the unforeseen enemy. So you are right to say that, to spend quality time. True, I can see some of female police officer, they can take out courses in terms of upgrade themselves, learn something, and then promote, and then have quality time. My ma'am is one of them. She has quality time with her mom, and go out, things like that. Compared to soldiers might be difficult. I'm not saying it's 100% wrong. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a sharing, and back to you, Luoling.
I would want to work together with other people and protect the nation together. Even though I do feel that army and police are important, but I value teamwork and working together as a team.
So you are choosing army, right? So why do you do that? Why do you make this choice?
Because I value like I'm not saying like police, right? You don't really interact much, but you still do interact, but not as much as like army. Like army, you train together, you fight together. I feel like that bond between people is just like something that I truly value. Like I value like having friendships, having like long lasting friendships with one another, rather than like, because in the police force, right, you only have like 1 to 2 friends that you will go out and fight crimes together, right? Or only rarely you go out as a group to fight crime together.
I think you're right, leh. Because just to pause here, I don't see a 4 female police officer going for patrolling. Most of the time it's 3:1. But in the army, you can see a bunch of cannot use a bunch, a babies of beautiful lady soldier together. Sorry, not a bunch, sorry, my fault. 我故意的. Yeah, that's a difference. Sorry, Hazel. I know you're angry with me. Okay, carry on, Lolin. Yeah, it's true, it's very true. Any more? That's all? Oh, okay, wow. I can I add something for what you have said just now is that we need more females in the soldier, to be honest. You know why? Can anyone tell me? Qinghan, can you tell me why we need female soldier nowadays more? You study social study, right? I believe, why?
I don't know, gender equality.
Oh, that's true. One way, one reason, and some more.
I don't know.
Low birth rate.
Yeah.
Right, low birth rate. And I heard now China now they have got more male than female. Because in the past, as long as you got female baby girls, they either abortions or give away to somebody or kill them off. Very sad. And now after 20 years later, the populations, I heard, I may be wrong, there are more males than females. Oh, no wonder you're female. No wonder my mom always watched that show, where you got 20 females and then 1 male. What is that things? 好像是红娘, 20 females standing there, and then the male guest will give the talk and choose one of the female. Wow. How I wish I'm just at the man. I can. So nice. Okay, thank you. Hazel, also soldier, come.
Okay. Okay. So
No, you
I
have to
would
read this. Correct. Carry on.
I would choose the army as my career. This is because I think the army is very interesting. They have divisions like the Air Force and Navy to choose from. Personally, if I'm liking of the sea, I would want to join the Navy. After I retire from the Navy, I would be able to make money because most Navy soldiers have a diving certificate, which is very I think that's more like, but basically what I mean is like which is very difficult to
Oh, you
obtain.
want to be a
Then with the
naval
diving,
unit. You want to be an NDU, Naval Diving Unit, the first female in Singapore. Oh, that
nah, I
would
don't want, I don't want.
be cool, man. It was my dream to be an NDU, no?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's
Because like I think right, diving is like really hard. In the future, I also want to go diving but
你真的
maybe
是一
I
个
won't
女
go
强
to the
人
Navy. But like yeah. But anyways, so the diving certificate is very hard lah. Then like if you get the diving certificate, then you can become like a coach or something. So you have like an external source of income. And becoming a diving coach is actually extremely well paying job, in my opinion lah. So like even if you retire from the army, you can still have another way of earning money. So like like your costs and expenses are all covered for that. And I think I didn't add into this, but I think that the army personnel are very admirable, and they have in Chinese there's this one 成语, it's called like I think it's 视死如归, which basically means
Oh,
that they treat death like it's nothing, they are willing to sacrifice their life for the nation, and I feel like it's very honorable and admirable. So I think that I want to be someone that I myself can feel proud about and like look up to, something like that.
salute you, man. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. 哎呀，讲这么多，你不会讲我的 cousin 岳飞精忠报国 It's the same, right? But anyway, whatever it is, this is very important in terms of what you have said. you 真的是放长线钓大鱼。You are talking about a long-term investment, a very, should I say, a very well-planned strategy that you would like to see for yourself, which is good. That means not just, let's say you are not in a soldiers. In future, you get your degree. What you want to do with the degree, it might be a law degree, but you end up you want to do other things. It's just like coming to this class is not about Sec 4. Coming to this class is to prepare you for getting a university certificate. It is very important. True enough, there are a lot of people are getting university certificates. And true enough, a lot of people cannot find jobs. But do you know, true enough, that it is possible with your degree, you have the amount of knowledge and the ability and capability to do a lot of things with these certificates. It is so important. As a teacher, I will still really encourage you guys to go as much learning, as much certificates as possible. Do not stop your learning here. Okay, as far as possible, you can get as many certificates. Yes, Hazel, I agree. You can get your diving cert, you can get your F&B cert, you can get your first aid cert, you can get your whatever certs. You can arm as many certs as possible because you will be valuable to the society, you will be acceptable, and you will be very 抢手. You'll be very demanding by the employer. This is a world that you generation, in fact, if you say our great-grandfather and grandfather, Qing Han, that your great-grandparents and your grandparents and your parents are tougher. I think your generation, they are even tougher. With AI, with ChatGPT, with Python, with all sorts of technologies, you are competing not a local flavor of students, but an international platform. So what's the difference between internal and external security of a country? I think most of you have said through your career path. Antenna, now you get it. So you see, everything I want to link and I want to teach things that is in real life. It's not just on the textbook. I want to bring out the actualities and the real meanings of what you've learned in your textbook to bring this in the real life. Because this is what you want to see in your real life. 对吗 Antenna? 对吗 Qing Han? 对吗 Zhong Han? 对吗 Xing Yuan? 对吗 Luo-Ling? 对吗 Hazel? You don't just get your cert with all the 7A1, but you do not know how to imply, apply, supply, and reply to the world. National security could be broadly divided into external and internal security. Okay, I think you all should know next year, we are talking about this internal and external security, and it came out in a social study exam question before, which is more important to Singapore? Is it internal and external security? While external security deals with external aggressions by a foreign country, as what all of you have done it, explain it in your own words, and describe it with example, well done. While internal security, on the other hand, is more dynamic as it deals with threats from both states and violent non-state actors. Meaning that within the same country, your own citizen, your own fellow countrymen also can 出卖你, can betray you. Not only that, after 你出卖你, you know what it means by 四面楚歌. You know, in the Chinese history, you can see a lot of 叛徒, 走狗, betrayal. That's how the country formed. It all started, in my opinions, if you are writing an essay for your A-level, for your uni, for your diploma, wait, uncle, next year I Sec 4, like, why are you talking so far? Because I don't prepare you for Sec 4. You see, you're going to this is not just for Sec 3. I don't think in Sec 4 O-level exam will come out this kind of question, in my opinion. After so many years, I don't really see this type of question come out in your O-level. Mostly are in your IP, IB, A-level and diploma, or even your university. I wish I did it before, something like that. Okay, about IT security. So whether you like it or not, this internal security, on the other hand, is more dynamics in terms of making sure that you are able to contain your fellow citizen right down in order to have what? Brainwash. If you brainwash, remember, Qing Han, you know, recently got this 17-year-old guy in Singapore, is a Malay guy who want to kill non-Muslim. You know that, Qing Han, in Tampines? He was about to taking a knife and the scissors to go around to the mall, to the MPH, a multi-purpose hall in Tampines West, I think. where they're very crowded and he's about to radicalize and kill all these because to the Islamist group. And he was being brainwashed to say that those who are not Muslim are all bad people. Oh my God, seriously. Oh, by the way, Chingan, 1/3 of my relative are Muslim. Okay. And I have Muslim relative, really Muslim, Malay, Muslim relative. And I have a lot of students who are Indian who are celebrating Deepavali tomorrow. You see, not all Indians are antenna. Not all Indians celebrate Deepavali. Do you know that? Antenna and Chingan. Do you know that? 你不要以为印度人就是庆祝那个，英文华语叫什么 ？Deepavali 华语叫什么？什么节 ？Hello, somebody help me。
屠妖。
什么屠妖节啊？屠妖，对对，屠妖，你懂屠妖就是把那个妖怪屠掉，对吗？不是全部的印度人celebrate Deepavali 啊。There are Indians who don't celebrate Hindus. I'm sorry. There are Indians who don't celebrate Deepavali because they are Christian, they are Catholic, they are Christian. So they do not. Deepavali is for Hindu people. The belief the Hindus people. You must have two separate things. We did it before, right? Beginning of this year, right? We talked about festival, right? And culture, right? 不是每个华人都会庆祝in fact, most of the Chinese will celebrate Chinese New Year, right? Should I say Malays, the Malays, you don't say Merry Christmas to them. Okay, please. The Malays don't celebrate Christmas. You don't know antenna and Qinghan. You know it's a Christmas, right? And Catholics, you're from Catholic, right? You all got are you Catholic, Qinghan?
No.
You're a free thinker?
Yeah.
Oh, 80s. Okay, sorry, nothing wrong with 80s. So you know Catholic, you got chapel, right? The father will go to your school and do chapel 对吗 every Friday 对不对？对啊。Catholic and Christians celebrate Christmas because Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ. You can tell the Muslims to celebrate Christmas. Hello? Hello? Something wrong. Okay. Right. So you understand, this is Singapore culture. You have to get used to it. All right. So, but we do celebrate sometime. The Muslim will come in. The Muslim Malays will come in. Hey, Merry Christmas to you. Same thing. We don't celebrate Hari Raya, right? We also go to their house. Selamat Hari Raya. It's the same thing. 以上往来. I always tell people, I will respect your religion 10 times or 100 times. So you got no reason don't respect my religions. So I feel that in the social study or even in any topics, religion is the most right now paramount important. People can die because of religion. People won't die because of race. One religion can consist of many race. 对吗，秦汉？对吗？ Antenna 对吗？对不对？如果一个佛教可以一个老外，可以一个日本人，可以一个韩国人，可以越南人，可以华人，可以非洲人，对吗？信仰这个东西that's why we call 信仰 ，that's why we call 宗教，祖宗的教。So you cannot differentiate on this. Sorry, nothing to do with this internal. But because all these things will affect the internal trend. Can you imagine, Zhonghan? Tomorrow I can tell all the Indian, hello, all the Indian. At night I switch up the light. I can't see you. You must light up your light. I tell you, that's it, man, bro. I'm gonna get myself into trouble. 对不对 ？Racism. Then during the Hari Raya, 我给他们肉干呢。你懂什么是肉干哦？金汉肉干吗？你懂什么是肉干吗？真的，肉干是猪肉对吗？你准备打仗了咯？你准备打仗 ？Hello, Selamat Hari Raya. This is bakwa 肉干。What is this? Babi pork. Very nice. Sedap. Very nice. But that's it, man, bro. 完蛋了，你们会笑。It's not a laughing matter, no. I can dare to tell you because I do have relatives in Muslim. I got a lot of Indian students very well. Okay, I saw them in their Facebook. They got married. Okay, the disturbing is one thing, but I do respect. And my son godparents are Indians. Okay, I love this country because internally we have peace, prosperity, and the best thing is that we are able to provide everyone with a space of celebrations, with a space of understanding, with a space of appreciation, with a space that everyone can live in 3H. healthy relationship, happy and harmonious。你去找一个国家找到可以这样 ，maybe 中国还可以，对吗？新疆还是西安的很多 Muslim 的人，对吗？So you see, even a communist also respect other religions. By right, communists, if you study history, in the terms of communism, there is no religions. Marxist is the best. But as time changed, the communism has changed the doctrines and the methodologies and the methods to appreciate so that there's internal peace. Once it's internal peace, nobody external can attack. Once you have the internal peace together, you will allow them to have harmony. Once the internal peace is so strong like super glue, you can tell me how to break. You break for me ah. You can break 就是好像 Hornet 这样咯 boom 两败俱伤。不是你死就是我亡。People will think twice. Is it worth it to attack? All right. So the history of policing in the West part. Oh, very tired. Qing Han, were you able to read this one to the class, please? The history of policing in West part 2. Come after.
After the collapse of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century CE, the Eastern Byzantine
Byzantine, correct.
Empire retained some of the older Roman institutions, e.g., Cloister, Hellenized equivalent of the Roman Quaestor, was the main policing authority with the specific responsibility of overseeing the large population of foreigners that resided in the capital. Outside of the Byzantine Empire, however, the urban basis for the existence of policing organizations had almost disappeared. One order that existed was enforced either by the military, often consisting of little more than armed bands, or by the community itself. Indeed, the legal codifications produced during the early Middle Ages, such as the Salic law, shows that nearly all offences were considered forms of civil tort to be resolved informally between the parties involved. The conflict-solving mechanisms established in England during that period offer a good example of how policing was done before modern police developed.
So this paragraph and what you have read is actually telling you that in order to have internal peace, in order to have harmony, in order to make sure that everyone sleep well, have peace, okay, we need a policing to make sure that nobody is going to be destroying it. And nobody is going to betray the country. It's just like the 17-year-old guy. Please read about this. It might come out in one of your SS exam. And guess what, Luoling? This year, the SS, I spotted cybersecurity. It came out in SRQ. It came up. I was like, oh, wow. Jackpot. But SBQ. I spotted diversity. It came out citizenships and governance. That topic was talking about, I think, low birth rate. And I did discuss with my Set 4 student beginning of this year. But I did not expect the issue 1 to come up in this year O-level. So most likely next year will be more on diversity already for SPQ. Okay, now next year you want to ask me, then you ask me out loading. Okay, so because I'm not going to see you for the next 2 months, hey, lucky I never see your face again. I'm sorry. Okay, don't get angry. Anyway, you deserve a break, correct now, right? I'll see you next year then, January. So thanks, Qing. This is something that you see when I'm talking relating to you. Thousands of years, people already started. So, and then 你觉得吗 ？internal 是很重要的，就像一个家庭，没有人可以破坏你的家庭。大概你胡言乱语说，哇 ，and then 你 daddy 要这样讲，你妈咪这样讲，你 and then hello excuse me， 你不要破坏我们的家庭哦，我们家庭好像 super glue 哦，你怎么讲都没有用的，你跟我滚蛋。You see, once you have internal peace, nobody can break away the peace of the whole country. 为什么每个国家会乱呢？就是这样。我说喽，清安、中安、黑色，and then 洛林 and Xin. You can say, Uncle, you push it lah. I still think external more important. Okay, that's why we got soldiers. You have your own right to say, but I will stick to this internal. I will never change. I've been teaching SS for 10 over years and I've been history for so many years. I will not change my mentality because I feel that internal is still the most important. You can argue your point, and this is my point. Agree or not, I'm taking example as a family, 对吗？你 family 很团结，没有人可以破坏你的家庭的。That's internal 嘛。external 就是你的朋友、你的亲戚、你的 what in-laws 啊，这些外公外婆还是 auntie uncle，那是 external。But internal 如果你们可以在一起 ，nothing can break away the harmony, the happy relationship and the healthy relationship. Okay, collective responsibility in early Anglo-Saxon time, the British Anglo-Saxon time. Ready? Can I have next paragraph, the earliest policing?
The earliest policing system in England, which predates the Norman conquest in
1066. You can pronounce as 1066 or 1066, but usually we break in two alphabet, two number, two numeric, 1066.
was community-based and implied collective responsibility. The Saxon Frank Pledge required all adult males to be responsible for the good conduct of each other and band together for their community's protection.
Stop. Who say it's singular? Who just now say singular? Huh? This is committee. You say somebody say singular, right? The one start with R-U-O. Joke, 不要生气啊 correct, it's not singular what? You say committee. Hello, thousands of years ago, people already together. Where got singular? No. 若令你要讲 the singular 就是 one group, collective now. Uncle, you clown. Collective now. A poise of policeman, a patrol of policeman. That's why it's singular. You bloody hell, your English teacher is don't know. Okay, carry on.
To formalize the obligation, they were grouped into titlings headed by tinklermen.
Teenagers 给钱啦 okay.
Each tinkling in turn was grouped into a
The word.
was headed by 100 men who served as both administrator and judge. Each 100 was grouped into a shire, which was supervised by a shire brave. The role of a shire brave was eventually developed into a modern office of country sheriff in England and the United States.
Oh, I like the way you pronounce the word, man. One more time, the last two words.
United States.
No, just sound better. I like the way you pronounce the last one. When you say the you know what is sheriff no? You know what is sheriff no? 你懂吗？什么？
Like police.
你要放那边美国的警察哦。Well, I like the way you pronounce this. No, not sarcastic. Very nice. Into the modern office of country sheriff in England and in the United States. The way you pronounce the term, United States. Not United States, not English, United States. United Kingdom. Manchester United. Don't talk about Manchester United. Good thing. The coach has been sacked. Okay. United States. Very good. So this paragraph really tells you in the past, they work together, they form together, they unite together, and they also pay a tokens of their responsibility and duty. So now you understand, Chingan, every paragraph we always explain in your own words. So the more you practice like this, the more you talk like this, the more you articulate inside your brain here. Look at my picture here. Inside you, you'll be encrypted in your brain. So anytime 你听过七步诗吗？听过吗？你华语好吗？请看。你听过煮豆燃豆萁，同是根本生吗？听过吗？
没有。
你工匠嘞，华文就是好的吗？这怎么没有听过啊？哎，这个你听过吗？煮豆燃豆萁，同是根本生，something like that，有没有听过？中文有哦，讲给大家听是谁跟谁讲？曹泽跟谁？
曹丕。
曹泽跟曹丕啊？
Yeah.
为什么他这么讲呢？
If I'm not wrong, is
You were not wrong. You're always correct, to be honest. Most of the time, you're good. Come on. Don't say you're not. I think. Use the word change. I think.
I think right is like the empire Cao Pi or Cao Zi, right?
Who are these two related to?
They are brothers.
Very good.
Brothers of
Of who?
Cao Cao,
Ah,
the son
And-
of them.
yeah. So what's so big deal?
Then after Cao Cao passed away, one of it became the empire,
The leader, emperor, king.
emperor. Then the emperor wanted to kill his brother.
Why?
So the brother
Why want to kill his brother?
say that if I can do a poem within 7 steps, then you don't kill me. Something like that, I think.
Okay, very close. Because the elder brothers are Qin and the Qin the elder brothers suspect the younger brother want to 夺位国王啊. Hey, hello brother. To prove your loyalty to me, within 7 steps, I want you to come to say something that please me to make sure that you don't have the 那存心 the ill how should you say that the ill feelings of taking over my empire. So within 7 steps, it say that 煮豆燃豆萱. So they say we are on the same sprout, the same bean, same roots together. Why should I do that to you? I'm here to serve and help you. Since you are the first being and more important than that, I will be willing to serve you as you are my brothers. And from there, the brothers say, okay, fine. We are pardons. So the 7th step is really a very good example to all my students. The inquisitive mind, the creativity mind, and the most important, the innovative mind. Now, creative and innovative are a bit different. Creative is like within something you can see. Innovative is already something happened, you innovate, you make it better. But creative is the one to create innovative, in my opinion. Like aspiration, inspiration, and motivation. There are 3 different stages, there are 3 different things, but all these 3 come together to give you success. Okay, back to you, next one. When crimes are 中文
When crimes were observed, citizens were expected to raise an alarm or hue and cry. Together, the members of the team and to pursue and capture the criminals, all citizens were
obliged
obliged to pursue wrongdoers. Those who refused were subject to punishment. If there were no witnesses to the crime, efforts to identify the criminal after the fact were the responsibility of the victim alone. No governmental agency exists for the investigation and solution of crimes.
Wow, so those people stay in the past are a very poor thing. They have to live on their own, they have to find their evidence, or even they have to 出卖 or to 收买 to buy the victims or buy the witness to suspect, and then 那些冤枉而死啊. So that's why later on they come out the LAW law 法律 to protect the innocents. Okay, thank you very much. Rolling, are you ready? The flag pledge.
The flag pledge period of policing continued unchanged until England's conquest by the Normans, who added the office of constable. The word constable comes from the old.
Constable.
Oh,
Constable 就是 police.
okay. Then why call this new word? Old French constable.
Yeah. So you see, not all English words have their meanings. They borrow some word from France, from French, from Germans, from Latins, from Greece, from all different places. Lucky they never borrow from Singlish. Carry on. Which at first?
First simply designated a person holding a public office, and evolved to mean a person exercising a higher form of authority. After the title of constable was introduced in England, its meaning continued to change. The English constable was
Constable.
or constable was originally a post in the royal court. By the late 13th century, however, it has evolved into a local office of individual manors and parishes.
Parishes.
Parish-
Parishes 就是那些 church 啊 group 啊这些地方 ，OK。Subordinate
Subordinate to the sheriff of
of mayor 就是那个管那个地方的那个老大，OK，the like member of the parliament in Singapore like the MP constable.
constables were appointed by various bodies such as the courts, and there were 2 high constables for each shire division, known as 100. Constables were typically members of the higher class under Henry
The 8th.
VIII. For example, they were chosen from the class of substantial gentlemen, and they did not receive a stampede. In addition to their frank pledge obligations, constables were responsible for overseeing the watch and ward system.
Okay, the night watch and for providing
night-
security for traveling injustice.
Provide
It's
security.
okay. For traveling justice. So the primary purpose of the watch and wards was guarded at the city gates at night. If you watch the Sherlock Holmes, it's a very famous detective books. It's a fiction books written by I can't remember who really. Okay, it's like watch and ward. That means back in London, they got this street of Londons, and then you will have police constable with a very long hair, right, walking around. Until today, they will still see them. And whilst in England study, I will still see them either on the horseback or on just a patrol. But nowadays, they don't really carry weapons and very safe. It seems like only taser, more humane. I feel that the London police are much better than US police because I feel that London's are more civilized in my opinion. We have been there. I know I not been in US, but I've ex-students who are staying there. They feel that they are being ostracized and very racism. The duties of watchmen were later expanded into including lighting street lamps, you see. So last time they need to light out the street lamps, of course, with candles. The same in China, right? 你懂那种 dog tank 那种打针what am I talking 打针？打那个弓打那个敲锣打鼓半夜3个，不是有人这样说3更半夜，就是 dog 咚，就是那种watch，how should say what you call that suddenly I can't remember the name. It's like a timekeeper. Middle of the night, they are telling them, it's very hard job. No? In the middle of night, so quiet, so dark. Things can happen to this type of people walking around and tell them, oh, it's in 3更半夜, that kind of timing. How they see it? Using a candle. The candle they burn, that means they know it's what time it is. So all the candles are being marked accordingly until 5 a.m. They'll go back to sleep, and then the next person who take over is a rooster. If the village have this or the town have this type of things. At the past in China, all right, yet despite the addition of constable, the investigation and prosecution of crimes remain a private matter to be handled by the victims. So if you watch the movie of Sherlock Holmes, you understand the whole story, how they break crimes, and that's where later on there's this thing called detective that comes in. All right, back to you, Hazel. The statues of Winchester. Wow, that's my favorite, man. Let's go.
The Statute of Winchester of 1285 codified the system of social obligation. It provided that 1, it was everyone's duty to maintain the king's peace, and any citizen could arrest an offender. Unpaid part-time constables operating at various levels of governance had a special duty to do so, and in towns they would be assisted by their inferior officers, the watchmen. If the offender was not caught red-handed, a hue and cry would have to be raised. Everyone was obliged to keep arms and follow the cry when required. And constables had among their varying responsibilities a duty to present the offender at courts. The justice of a peace.
It's okay. Sorry. We got still a bit more, right? Wow, quite a bit. Okay. By the way, our dear Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, he was a law student in Cambridge. Is it Cambridge or Oxford? Yeah, Oxford. In Oxford. Double degree. And he had to study this Winchester law, the past law. In the back in the 50s, After World War II, he went to study law in the 50s, and you had to study all the London laws, the British laws, in order to go to the bar to become a lawyer. So all these, you see that like section 1, rule number 1, all these are, oh my goodness, he has to really memorize most of these things. And because of his rich understanding of the law, he's able to apply, imply, supply, and reply back in Singapore during the Singapore independence to have such a good police force and able to maintain peace. So law itself is actually protecting people. Through law, the history of policing helps people to understand how the past victims was not being well protected and how they arrest the offenders and come all the way. Until today, Singapore's are very particular in death penalty for drug trafficking. 就是白粉. And yet there are still Singaporeans still say cannot, Singapore government very inhumane. Wow, so bad I was handled. Hello, excuse me. Drug trafficking is that recently my colleagues in the narcotics and arrested 120 over people in Singapore. Take note, right? One of them is a 16 years old girl. And those who are the drugs that is being confiscated, right, and being taken cost millions of dollars. Imagine these drugs were to sell in the street of Singapore. It can be any one of us here. And 这种是所谓不劳而获的东西，害人呢。And you still dare to say no death penalty. If today there's no death penalty, do you think Singapore street is so safe? You go to London, no? You go to New York City, you go to Holland, okay? And there's someone there to tell Singaporean government, please, you have no right to have death sentence. Who? Sir George Benson, right? The Virgin's guys, and we would like to tell him, your great-grandfather sell opium to China, and bloody hell, shut your mouth before you say anything. Because of your opium war, we lost Hong Kong and Macau to the foreigners, and these two territories are supposed to be ours. And what happened after when China took back Hong Kong? A lot of youngsters protest and against the government. True enough, I don't really like communist country. True enough, the communists might have certain rules and regulations that I don't like. But don't forget, Hong Kong is always belongs to China. And a student asked me whether Taiwan belongs to China. That one is a different story. I don't want to delve with it because it's like a history of it. But Hong Kong is rightfully from China. And because of the Opium War, we lost it. And history has spoken itself loud and clear enough that drugs and opium destroy the internal peace of a country so that the external can attack you and take the whole entire country. Now you understand why the internal peace and the internal policing and the internal security is the utmost important than the external security. Okay? So I'm very excited and hot about this every time when when I deal with this topic. Seriously, because it lingers in my mind that as a history student and history teacher and a history advocates, I cannot accept it. Because of that, China at that time lost so many people, thousands and millions of people, because they call us 东亚病夫. Cannot accept it. Our Chinese history are so rich and 5,000 years and bloody hell and being destroyed by a 200 years old history. And they know nothing about history of China. Back to you, Xing Yan.
The Justice of the Peace Act of 1931 began the process
Louder.
of centralizing the administration of justice in England. It established the Office of Justice of the Peace, the responsibilities of which encompass police, judicial, and administrative duties. Justice of the Peace were appointed by and derived their authority from the monarch. The period of the Justice of the Peace Act marked the end of the law enforcement system based upon obligatory service to the community by all individuals.
Thank you. The Justice of Peace until today, Antenna and Qing An, they are still in Singapore. Okay, you make sure that everyone's have the not encompasses police and judicial. I think in your issue 1, chapter 1 or 2, they will talk about this bill passed down to protect like bill of can Singapore allowed to have chewing gum? Your pastor bill. Can Singapore accept LGBT? Can Singapore allow certain rules and regulations like certain activities going on, like after 10:30 should not drink and things like that? So the Justice of Peace, the act is like giving off to. That's why it's called peace, ma. Justice to have peace act, ma, to make sure that internal peace, ma. So with internal peace, then you have harmony, then you are able to live in a very nice. 你听过这个字吗？路不拾遗，对吗？秦涵，秦涵，你听过吗？路不拾遗，听过吗？你等等有听过路不拾遗吗？就是有一个商人，他去到一个城，一个 village，他看到人家东西就是全部放在那个地上街边，他就说：诶，怎么你们东西乱放的？等一下人家偷窃啊，不用怕。这边我们都知道，这个是小陈、小黄、小猫、小狗的东西啊。你们怎么啊？等一下他们忘记了，他回来拿。哇，你们能做到这种地步，就是说你们整个城市啊都是很平静、很平安、很顺畅，怪不得就是路不拾遗的，就是这个地方真的是很好。Is it true when you go to Starbucks, you can see everyone put their handphone, put their laptop? I worked in Starbucks before when I quit my MOE job. I work in Starbucks Paragon. They put the laptop and put their wallet like nobody business until the police come and tell me, hey, can you advise your customer do any put? I told them many times. You know what they tell me? Singapore very safe one. Here got camera. I don't worry. Huh? Well, the police officer was shocked to hear that. 路不拾遗. Who else haven't read? Who haven't read? Okay. Hazel, can you one more paragraph for me, Hazel?
Until the 19th century, except for a brief period during the rule of
Olivia.
Oliver Cromwell, public huh?
Yeah, Oliver Cromwell.
Huh?
Conwell, is it? Conwell.
Oliver Cromwell, public order and safety in England remained mainly the responsibility of local justices of the peace, constables, and the watch and the ward. Constables and watchmen were supported by citizens, possessed such as the I'm not gonna read that. And when riots
you
occurred,
understand what it's called a post of policeman, huh? You see the word come from, huh? Okay.
and when riots occurred, the military or the yeomanry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time in the past they don't have a police car, right? Correct not? They don't have GPS car. So the cavalry 就是那个马车啦。那些马车 with 那些very big one, like last time got no fire engine, right? So 他们用那个马车就是载那个水去扑灭火 to extinguish fire. Okay, so this is all the history of the firemen, the policemen, the soldiers, all these things. Okay, and even the hangman 就是那个犯死刑的人啊，就是the person who hang people. The statutory police. May I have Claudine, last time to hear your voice until next year, okay?
From the early 16th to the early 19th century, some groups of merchants, traders, church members, insurers, and others employed private individuals to protect their property and their persons. Protection thus became a
Commodity 就是一样东西 that means you need to have one. It's like your at home, your commodity is something that you process. 你有的 okay? Available
to anyone who had sufficient resources. In addition, victims of theft who could not recover their property offered rewards for its return, often resorting to hiring thief takers. These precursors to modern bounty hunters were private citizens who, for a fee or a reward, attempted to identify wrongdoers and return stolen property to its rightful owner.
You know the Texas, the cowboy, right? Remember the cowboy, they say wanted $1,000, right? Just like in Singapore, right? Wanted man. If you go to police station, you'll see wanted man. These are the fugitive go against the law and run away from law, and we are after them. So sometimes when we do patrolling and we see that I see that this guy is on alert, straight away we're going to handcuff him. For example, he run away from Texas. or he has some crime and then he never report to police station, he run away, but he's still hanging around in the country. That is why we catch them, we send them to the jail. So internal securities, right? Imagine these are all running around in the street in Orchard Road. That's it, man. Who want to visit Orchard Road? Correct. Now this is very important. So at that time, people will have the bounty， 就是那个人头，就是那个人跑掉，就是说if you found out this person, I will pay you certain amount like wanted people. When the communities began paying private citizens for the captures and conviction of thieves, a standard set of fees was established, like I told you, right? And the statutory police system evolved. So they start to have all these, and until today, sources of fees in this system included public rewards program. Like for example, the kids recently in Malaysia got one girl, 7 years old, was mommy was doing Pasar Malam, a night market, and then he roamed around, and then was some guys kind of brought her to a place 6 or 7. And thank God with the GPS and some witnesses managed to catch them, these 6 to 7 kidnappers. And of course, before the kidnappers was caught, there are people to put, if you can find out this 7 years old girl, I will give you a rewards, a handsome reward, something like that. So insurance companies also started from last time until now, commercial houses, prosecuting associations, and subscription. Any citizen, not only constable and justice, any one of you can become a police officer in terms like, you know, as in a third eye to watch. Like for example, your neighbor is going for holidays and you're not going for holidays. You can be also the eye of a police to make sure that there's no strangers, no one loitering around, a stranger coming and you know that this guy don't stay around this block. Start to call the police and say, hello, police officer, I feel someone not right standing at my neighbor outside the door. Or if you have newspaper, please stop the newspaper and you see there's a lot of 传单 slotting at the gate there. Please help your neighbors to take away the 传单 and then keep it, and then when they come back, you give it to them. Or if your neighbor say that all the 传单, all the brochure outside, please help me to throw away. And then you realize the plant outside is dying off. Then some people will say, oh, they watch that, oh, this neighbor always water the plant. Then why suddenly few days the plant not water? So please do it, because some theft are very alert. No? They might be patrolling, pretend to walk around, and they are observed. They really target the particular household, especially the elderly's household. Okay, could earn such a fee and reward by becoming a theft taker or commons informer. Okay, 线人 that means you are just the third eye of the police. At the same time, the constable and justice either will not pay at all, earn a very small stipend, and they did not compensate them for the time they devote their duties. So it depends. If you want to be a good citizen and help to maintain peace and orders and sleep well at night, no housebreaking, that's why I say internal security is very important. Right? Okay. I'm so sorry to take up your time so much. Anyway, I'll see you next week with new topics. And Rolling, you take care. I hope to see you in the year-end party. I will send out the RSVP to all of you to come for not my birthday party, my year-end party. Okay. Thank you guys. Let me stop. Thank you, Qing Han. Hope to see you. Take care, everyone.